close to 30 home runs. He's going to play 150 games for you. I like this move for the Mets.
I do, too. And he plays above-average defense, high-energy guy. I mean, he fits. He fits for what the Mets need.
Joe, you managed this guy, and I vividly remember the postseason. Obviously, did the ball hit the bat? The replay decided not to do it, and it was a tough moment for you. You guys survived that series, but I remember you discussing in the post-game press conference who in your clubhouse stepped up first to support you. Watch this.
Todd Frazier was the first guy that said something. Let's go. And that did stick out in my mind. I'll never forget that because, again, I was about as low as I could be as a baseball player or baseball coach or whatever I was. And, it's been Friday. It happened on Friday. I've been carrying this burden for 5 or 6 days. It's hard. If we lose on Sunday, it really hurts. If we lose on Monday, it really, really hurts. And if we would have lost today, it probably would have hurt even worse. So for me, what those guys did for me, I'll never forget it.
Your name came up when your manager, Joe Girardi, had a press conference just moments ago.
Yeah.
He was emotional as he was talking about wearing the mistake of the replay in Game 2. And he said that he addressed the team, talked to you guys, and he said that you spoke up after he was done talking, and he said he'll never forget that. What did you say, and what was that meeting like?
Yeah, everybody, New York's tough. You guys know it, 100%. You're a manager there. One thing goes on. The guy's won, a couple World Series titles, and for him to get booed in his own stadium, it kind of hit hard for us, as players, because we got his back 100%. Basically he said he put it on his shoulders, but I said, hey, Joe, it's on our shoulders. We should have won that game anyway, and that's basically all I said. And this series was for him, man. At the end of the day, he had a lot of pressure on him. I know it hit him hard. And he's a great manager, which people still know that he is. He's done a great job, and, it hit him hard. And I told him, I said, hey, we got your back 100%. Don't worry about nothing. And, on to the next one. So, man, proud of him, too, as well.
One of the great things about that for me is, as a manager, all you talk about is staying together as a team. And no matter what happens, you stay together as a team, and you take responsibility. And I took responsibility for the mistake, but Todd Frazier spoke up. And I think this is a great sign because for a number of reasons. He plays good defense like you talked about. He's going to hit his 25 homers. He's going to grind out at-bats and work some walks and give you some big at-bats where he drives and runs. But he brings energy, and he brings the love to play every day. And I think that's important, especially in a town like New York where, lows can get really low because it can be hard to play here. And he's going to bring that love of playing every day, and he'll be great in that clubhouse.
There's no metric for that, though, Joe.
No, there isn't. And those guys are so important. And I think you have to have one in the infield, one in the outfield, one with the starting pitchers, one with the relievers. And he was that guy that really brought it.
Mike, you played on a lot of teams with some colorful characters. You got to produce to still play in the big leagues. But to have a guy with this kind of personality in a pressure cooker town like New York City, it's got to be huge for the Mets.
Well, I think it's like what he says. It's New York. He's what? Tom's River?
Right.
He gets it. He understands what a manager goes through, what a player goes through. And I know being a big league player has a lot of pluses, but there are a lot of valleys and peaks during the season. So if you can come together and have those high energy guys to get on Rosario, who's going to have a bad day sooner or later. Hey, pick it up. Tomorrow's a new day. Those guys, they have an influence, which is an intangible that is so hard to say he's going to make our team this much better because of what he does. But they work. Those guys work. You need them in the clubhouse. You need them on every team.
So he picked you up in the clubhouse by yelling, let's go?
Yeah, he did.
I've been doing that here for years. I'm looking for my 2 and 17. Let's go.
Just going to have some points in front of it. That's all. Some points and some zeros.
And we'll be good.
I think you're close, Bill.
Let's go.
I think you're close to getting that 2 years, $17 million.